guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 20th video tutorial in the Python series, and in this video I'll be explaining you about file handling. By using file handling, we can create a file, we can read a file, or we can update it, and we can also delete files. So in order to do or update data in file, we need to use the open function. Open function opens the file. This function takes two parameters. First is the name of the file and second one is the mode. Suppose, imagine that you want to read a file or read the contents of the file. You don't want to write anything in it. And there might be some times when you just want to write data into file, or you might want to append the contents in a file. So based on your needs, we have four different types of mode. The first one is R or read mode. It opens a file for reading and throws an error if the file does not exist. The second one is append mode. It opens a file for appending and creates the file if it does not exist. The third one is write or W mode. It opens a file for writing and creates the file if it does not exist. The difference between append and write mode is that whenever we open a file in append mode, if the file exists, the contents won't be deleted. Whatever the contents you are writing, they will be inserted into that file after its previous contents. But whereas if we use write mode, then what happens is that it overwrites the contents of the file. And at last we have the X or create mode. It creates the specified file and returns an error if the file exists. Now let us see that how we can open a file. For opening a file, I'll use a equal to this open function, and here you can mention the name of the file, a.txt, and I'm using the read mode here. I will show you that here our a.txt file contains this data, and we need to remember that the read mode is the default one. So in case if we haven't used this mode here, it will open the file in read mode. Now since we have opened it in read mode, we can read the contents of data and we can print it. For doing that, we need to use the read function. So I'll write a.read. What this will do is it will read the contents from this file and print them. So now let us check it. Here you see that whatever the data is there in our a.txt file, it has been printed in this terminal. And so this is the way in which we can read the contents of a file. Now suppose that you want to read or print only a few characters from your file. For example, I want to read the first 15 characters from my file. So in that case, I'll use a.read and within this mention the number of characters. Now let's see the output. Here you'll find the hacker earth. Let us count the number of characters: 1, 2, 3, space 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So till H we have the 15 characters, and it has printed the hacker earth in the output screen too. So this is the way in which we can read and print only a few characters from a file. Now suppose that you want to read only a single line and print it. For that you can use print and read line function here. So I'll write read line. So this will read a single line from this file and then it prints it. Let's see the output. Here it has considered this whole thing as a single line up till the programming community. Let me insert a space here. Okay. I'll show you the output of this file. Okay. We see that here in a single line we have the contents like the Hacker Earth Campus Ambassador Program is a platform for students who are passionate about. So this is our first line here. And if we see our terminal now, or the output screen, we have the first line as the output here. So this is the way in which we can read a single line and then print it on the screen. And whenever we open a file in particular mode and then we need to use it in another mode, we need to remember that we have to close that file. So for closing a file, we use the close function as mentioned here. And this close does not take any parameters here. You just need to mention this variable name and dot close here. So this closes the file. So now here we have seen that how we can read a few characters or a line or total text from a text file. Now we'll see that how we can write in a file. For writing in a file, we have two modes available. I mean append mode and write mode. Now suppose that I want to add my data after all these lines, then I'll use the append mode. So for that, create open a file, open this file again here, a.txt, but now use the append mode. So now we need to write some contents in that, and for writing contents we use the write function. So I'll write here, this is the new, okay, this is the new line of text which has been added. Okay, now let me close this file because we have to open it now in read mode. So I'll write open a.txt, and now I'm opening it in read mode so that I can read and print the contents of file. So for that I'll use the read function, print a.read, and now let us see the output here. So here we find that this is the new line of text which has been added. It has been included in our output. And now let's check this file. So when we reload, we find that after all these lines which were already there in the file, this new line of text has been added. Now let us close this file. Now suppose that you want to overwrite a file or write contents into it, and you don't want any contents. Suppose you don't know that whether that file exists or not, but you want to insert the first line or first character in it. So in that case we use the write mode because it overwrites the file if it exists. So for that we'll open the file in write mode, a.txt, and then I'll use the W or write mode here, and then I'll write some contents like what can I write? Oops, the contents have been deleted. Okay, and now I'll close this file once again because now we have to open the file in read mode. So here I'll open the file once again, but here I'll open it in a read mode, a.txt, and then read mode. Let me delete this. And then I'll simply print all the contents of that file. For that I'll write a.read. Okay, here a is the variable name and not the name of the text file. So a.read, and then simply close that. Now let me see the output. We find that oops, the contents have been deleted is printed on screen. And now if we reload it, we find that the earlier contents of a.txt file, it has been deleted, and only the things which we have written by using our program, it has been added in this file. So this is the way in which we can write a file. Suppose you want to create a new file. So in that case, we can use all these three modes except the read mode, because if the file does not exist, it throws an error. But if we want to create a file, we can use the append mode, because if the file does not exist while opening, it creates it. And similarly, it's the same case for write mode and append mode here. And in XOR create mode, it creates the specified file and it returns an error if the file exists. So now we'll see that how we can create a file. So I'll write a equal to, I'll open a file c.txt and I'll open it in write mode, and now I'll write some contents in it. c.write hello guys. So this is the content of my C file. So, and I'll close this, a.close, and now let us execute this. Okay, now here let us check c.txt, sorry, and open it. Here we see that hello guys has been inserted in this c.txt file. So this is the way in which we can create. Similar way you can use here the A or X mode. So it depends on you that which mode you want to use for creating a new file, but it is better that you can use the X mode. Now we'll see that how we can delete a file. For deleting a file, we need to import the OS module. Import OS, import, and now first we'll check if the file exists. So for that we'll write os.path and .exists. Sorry, exists, and here we'll write the name of our file. Then we'll write os.remove. It deletes the file, and mention the file here, a.txt, else print file not found. Okay, so what it does is it checks the path that whether a.txt is present, and if it is present or if it exists, it removes or deletes that particular file, else it will print that file is not found. So now let us execute that. Okay, now let us see this file. Okay, now let's reload. Here you'll find that could not revert the file home del a.txt, which means that our file has been deleted. But here we can search it also, and now if we check a.txt, we see that no results found. So this means that our file has been deleted. So these are all the functions which you can use for manipulations with the file, and you can handle the file. While creating this video, there have been a lot of disturbances because of the construction work going around here. So sorry for that, and that's it for this tutorial, and thanks for watching my videos. Please do like and subscribe. Bye bye.